the year passes and we get that little bit older, a little bit greyer, a little bit fatter. But every single year you seem to think to yourself, can I actually keep coming up with these toys? Can I keep finding these toys in the places that I find them? I don't spend cash. If you know my channel, I don't spend hardly anything. I'm a bit of a scrounger, I kind of like to go around the charity shops and I go around car boot sales and things like that. When I went to TF Nation, I didn't spend very much money because I have a certain set of rules and I like to spend as little as I possibly can just to prove that you can actually get this kind of stuff really cheap. This year, I've accumulated some absolute belting stuff, some absolute cracking, far better than last year, and I've been a lot more trying to concentrate on getting the decent stuff, getting the stuff that's a little bit more, oh yes. And this year was the year that I found the grails, the ones that I always wanted, the ones that have eluded me for so long, turned up in the most unlikely of places. And so let's do 17 of 2017. I could have done 10, but why would you want to do 10 when you could do 17? So let's do 17, shall we? In at number 17, Cybertron Snarl, or Wolfang, I think he was called. I picked this up off of the flea market, and it was in a bargain bucket for £2, and it was complete, even though some mysterious reason his keys disappeared now. But this thing's fantastic, and it's actually better than most of the Titans Return or Power the Primes, whatever you want to call them these days. It's better than that. It's a far superior toy. People should go out and they should find this kind of stuff because it's just much better. In at number 16, Transformers Prime Ultra Magnus. Picked this up at TFN for the grand total of £5. It had a few of the missiles missing, but apart from that, it was complete with his Forge of Solus Prime. This is a great mould. I have this version of him. I also have the other version of him, which I found on the car boot sale for £1. And I also have the Optimus Prime version of this same mould. And they're all just great. They're all fantastic moulds. But TFP has always been one of my favourite lines. It always will be one of my favourite lines. And I'm this close now to getting them all. I just want a few more and then that's it. I'm done with the entire line. But yeah, great box. At number 15, Alternators Silver Streak. I never ever intended on getting this thing. I never sought it out. It just came to me. My wife works with some people, and one of them had a Mitsubishi, not Mitsubishi, they had a Subaru Impreza. And he sold on his Subaru Impreza, and the only reason he had this toy is because he had his Subaru Impreza, and it was the same car, and he had it on a shelf. The car was long gone. So what he did, this thing went in a box and then disappeared. And then my wife talked to the friend at work, and they said, your husband likes Transformers, I understand. He can have this. So I got this for free. And this thing is fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant. I didn't understand what these were. I'll be absolutely honest. These are another one of the things that just totally passed me by. The quality of this it's like masterpiece quality. The way it stands, transforms, its head sculpt, all the rest of it. And the car form is sublime, absolutely sublime. I understand that there are some ones that are a little bit difficult to transform and some of them that aren't very good, but this thing, oh, absolute tip top. Marvellous. And he's number 15. At number 14, we have Titans Return Blur. Picked this up from TF Nation for, I think he was £10 from one of the main dealers, one of the big dealers. But there was some of the Titans Return stuff was actually reduced. And I was looking through them, and I don't have a Blur in my collection, and I nearly picked up the Generations Blur or Classics Blur, the one that's like the old style car with it, and I thought, yeah, that's quite good. But when I went back, he disappeared. Anyway, this was reduced, and I thought, that's a pretty good bot for the money. So I thought I'd pick him up, and I like it. I love the transformation on it, and some real ingenious bits, how the legs go, and how he transforms, and the head sculpt is fantastic. Yeah, it's a good little toy. It's a good little toy. In at number 13, Fall of Cybertron Megatron. I love this thing. It doesn't look great in alt mode, I'll be absolutely honest, but I wanted a Chug Megs to sit on the shelf with all the rest of them. And you can't get much prettier than this boy. He is sublime. Great head sculpt, great cannon on him, just nice, just a fantastic mold, just a really good stood there kind of thing. I've seen that there's a third party version of this has been done now, which has beefed it up, made him a little bit bigger. Yeah, really nice. In at number 12, off of a car boot sale for a lot less than you'd actually pay for the tiny little version that's just come out for the Power of the Primes, G1 Skullcruncher. Not quite complete because he doesn't have his gun with him, but he has all the rest of the stuff with him, and he's in tip-top condition. And I've always wanted to have a Pretender, one that can just put on the shelf, and this is one that always used to intrigue me when I was a kid. Whenever I used to see the one in the UK Marvel comics, this was the one that I always used to think, oh, that looks fabulous. Now, I'll be honest, the Transformer itself inside isn't great. It doesn't transform into anything fantastic. But just on the shelf, this guy looks sublime, and he is a Transformer. He's an absolute Transformer. Pretenders are a bit of a thing. Not many people like Pretenders. Some people collect the whole lot. Some people don't have hardly any. But yeah, I really like this guy. And for how much he cost me, he's a bit of a steal. At number 11, animated Swindle. Now, the reason I put animated Swindle in here is because this was given to me by my father-in-law, who went to a charity shop in Bakewell, and he came back with this, and he said, "I found you a little toy," and he just handed it over to me, and it's lovely. It's a really nice toy. It transforms fantastic. It didn't. I mean, I managed to put him. He's got a bit of a gun that's going on. That's not his original gun that he should have come with, but he needed a gun. And it's just a great toy. It's a fantastic light piping and sculpting and just, oh, it's just a really nice thing. I think I may have played with this toy, the transformation, more than most of the toys that I picked up at the conventions. And this is just one of them that you can just pick up and transform back and transform. It's just really fun. If you can find it, get it. In at number 10, Titans Return Rewind. Now, I understand that Rewind is a bit of a major character in the IDW things. I'm not aware of that because I don't read the IDW comics. I really should get into them at some stage or another. But he's just a really good toy for something that's so small. And he's a triple changer at that. He transforms into like a cassette player kind of thing. And he also transforms into a tank. And he also becomes a really decent, articulated robot. He's a really good. It's a really good toy. It's just the proportions look great. Yeah, fabulous. And I picked this guy up from Toys R Us. Toys R Us had a bit of a clearance sale on, and this guy ended up in the wrong aisle bit, and I ended up getting him for, I think he was $3.99 or something like that, which I thought was a bit of a steal really for a Transformer like this, brand new from Toys R Us. I don't normally buy stuff from Toys R Us because it's crap, but yeah, good stuff. In at number 9, Wei Jiang LC, or their version of RC. Now this is an upscaled version of the Generations RC mold with die-cast legs, die-cast parts, and a little bit of remoulding done. The only thing I'm not fond of is the head sculpt. But apparently you can buy a version now, and the head is you can actually get a better head with the set from Wei Jiang. The reason I wanted this is to actually sit her with the rest of the MPs. So because I have quite a few MPs now, you need to have your RC just to fit in there with all the rest of the movie kind of bots, just to look, yeah. And at this moment in time, because Takara and Hasbro won't pull the socks up and get an MP RC, this will have to do for now. At number 8, Wei Jiang Battle Hornet. This thing is quite panel-tastic in car form. I'm not gonna try and convince you otherwise. But I tell you what, in robot form, that's the best Bumblebee I've ever seen. That's better in my eyes than the MP Bumblebee that's come out quite recently. The colours of it look fantastic. The paint on there, on tiny little things like on the cannon, you've got loads and loads and loads of detail, and they just went to town on it. They just went and put as much paint on it as they possibly could just to finish it off. Some, like, even in the middle, the midsection has just got great. It's got die-cast sections, and the legs look fabulous. Everything on it is just, oh, it's glorious, absolutely glorious. If you're going to get a Bumblebee to stick on your shelf to make it look authentic, and you put it next to the M01 from Weijiang, this is the toy you need to get. Nothing else. Get this one. In at number 7, MP Ironhide. Yeah, this thing's just amazing. The way the actual chest transforms and it actually falls into itself, and the proportions of the legs, and the proportions when you put it next to the other bots from the MP line. If you put it next to if you put this next to the Bumblebee and all the rest of it, it's just glorious. Such a glorious thing. The head sculpt looks fantastic. The accessories it comes with is brilliant. It comes with rocket packs and guns and radars and all that kind of stuff. It's just great. Every single angle, in my opinion, every single angle that you hold him, he just looks fantastic. It's just a really, really good representation of the original cartoon character. Yeah, a must-have, an absolute must-have. In at number 6, Senderosa. This is Weijiang doing Megatron from the last night. Yeah. It's an upscaled version of the Voyager version that Hasbro brought out, but instead of just doing it in plastic, they put die-cast sections on it, further articulation on the arms and the hands, a beautiful, beautiful head sculpt. Just everything on this thing is to die for. Really, really, really nice. The articulation on this thing beggars belief. It absolutely astounding how much articulation he can get. He can actually hold the sword with 2 hands. He can reach from behind and grab the sword. Jet form, when you actually transform it, is absolutely massive. Nice and heavy and just, oh God, just, oh. It's just sublime. It's just such a quality item. And it is just a nice, easy, pleasurable transformation to do. Yes. Absolutely, yes. So we're getting into top 5 now. Animated Rodimus Minor. I got this from my friend P at TF Nation because I wanted this. This was one of my, when I started doing all these collecting all these Transformers. This is one of them that I actually saw and I thought, I need that toy. That's one that I really, 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 really want. So I paid a little bit more than I would normally pay, but I still got it for a really good price, and it's complete. It's just lovely. The paint on it looks great. The robot form looks fantastic. Oh man, yeah. And he gave me a few little treats with it at the same time, because he gave me an animated RC that I wasn't expecting, and he gave me that at the same time. So yeah, such a great toy, such a pleasurable experience, and my animated shelf now looks amazing with these guys in. Yeah. If you collect the animated ones and you haven't got this, then you're missing out massively. In at number 4. Now, when I first started collecting Transformers, I had memories of when I used to go onto car boot sales and Transformers I used to see out there in the wild, and I never picked them up because I wasn't collecting Transformers at the time. Now this one I remember seeing many, many, many times, and I never picked it up. I never got it because at the time I wasn't collecting. Then I started collecting, and me and my lad always joked that there was one Transformer that we always had to get, One Transformer, that was it. When we got that, that was us done. The collecting was done. Obviously, that's not going to happen. Obviously, I'm going to move on from there. But there was always one that I always used to think that if I could get it, yeah, I could put it with the rest of the Transformers and it would just look fantastic. Energon Unicron. This is, it may not be a grail to a lot of people out there, but this to me is a grail. This is the one of the ultimate things that I just really wanted. The fact that it looks very much like the original movie version of Unicron. I haven't got the rings for it yet, but as you know, I'll find them. It just looks great. In robot form, it looks so imposing on the shelf. You can just put it on the shelf above the rest of the Transformers. And you need a Unicron in your life. You need something in there that's more imposing and more like, than all the rest of them. Now, this guy that I got is the black version, which is, I think it's the other one before was the Armada, and this is the Energon version. It has a glowing hand, which still glows, and his head still glows and does all the rest of the things. It's just a great toy, and I've been wanting it for such a long time. Yeah. Grail. Moving on, there was always one Transformer, the one that I wanted for ages and ages and ages, and I never ever got it. And this was, for me, what really got me involved with Transformers as a kid. I remember the first Transformers that I had, and I had a Top Spin, and I had Silverbolt, and then my friend gave me a few others, so I had like G1 Soundwave and G1 Grimlock and all those kind of things, all the original G1 Transformers. They were all great toys, but then one came along that just changed everything. And he's not everyone's cup of tea, but for me, he was the one. And it's took me all this time to actually get one back. G1 Hot Rod. What more needs to be said? I now have a G1 Hot Rod, the one that actually got me going. This was my grail. It's not the greatest of robots. It's not the most beautiful things, to be honest, but it just, there's something about it will always be appealing in regards to how it is. Now, admittedly, it doesn't look like it did in Transformers the movie, and when you transform it, it's a very simple thing. But the G1 is still a very pleasurable thing for me as being one of the older Transformer collectors. I actually still think that this is a precious toy. Yeah. So now I have him. I'm pretty much set on my hot rods. Apart from the Transformer that comes in at number 2, which is Masterpiece Hot Rod. This is everything a Hot Rod fan wants in their toy. It looks beautiful. It looks so much like the cartoon, the Transformers the movie. It transforms into a car which is just so sublime, so accurate to the original toy, not the original toy, to the original cartoon and film version. And yeah, what's not to love? It's probably the most perfect MP ever made. Oh, it's a bit of a controversial thing. Is this better than MP10? Maybe. In my eyes, I think this is one of the finest pieces of plastic that's ever been designed. Everything goes together so well on it. It has a bit of a backpack, but I think that's forgivable for how much engineering goes into it, for how much work that's involved with this toy. It's just sublime. It's just an absolute sublime toy. If you like MPs, you must get this. You must have this toy. It's just... ah. So this brings me to the number 1 of the year. Now, I choose the number 1 based upon what I think is a clever toy. It looks great. It has to have certain parameters for it to actually qualify as the best toy that I've had this year. Every single one of these toys that you've seen so far, if you bought these full price in a shop, they will cost you quite a lot of money. Even if you're going down to, say, Rewind, would cost you £12.99 if you bought it brand new from Toys R Us. If you bought Senderosa from one of the Transformer things, it may cost you in excess of about £40 or £50. All these toys that you've seen before cost lots and lots of cash. Okay? I'm not fond of toys that cost loads and loads of money. For me, you need to have something that needs to be quite reasonable in price. It needs to be a really good quality. It needs to look fantastic, and it needs to have a pleasurable transformation. And that is why I've chosen as my Transformer of the year 2017 Mech Planet Soundboard. Is that his name? It's Soundwave. This is Soundwave. This is an amazing toy. You may think it's rather small. Why is that a great toy? The transformation on this thing is amazing. The articulation on this thing is amazing. It has a tiny little version of Laserbeak inside him, which transforms, which is amazing. It looks exactly like an MP Soundwave. It has just every single line of articulation, every single detail on this, everything that you want from a Soundwave model is here. It does everything. But the best thing about this is it's not a KO, it's a 3P. This is a third-party toy. And even better than that is the cost. This thing, where you will be buying something from Iron Factory or you're buying from all these other 3P companies, this thing you can buy for about £12. That's incredible. Why haven't Hasbro done something like this? Why haven't Hasbro just said, oh, what we need to do is have a better version of, like smaller versions of our Masterpiece figures? That's basically what these are. These are tiny little Masterpiece figures. This thing, if you don't have it, you're an idiot, an absolute idiot, because it is glorious, glorious. I didn't even think that much of it, and then I saw my friend Jermaine at TF Nation. He had one in a box. I opened it up and I held it in my hand and just went, oh my God. And every single person I know that have had this have just gone, dear God, this thing's brilliant. The paint on it is sublime. Every angle that you can have it, it looks brilliant. The transformation into the cassette player, or the original G1 version of a cassette player, is flawless. Absolutely flawless. I cannot recommend this toy highly enough. Get your arse out there and get it. And if you buy it and you don't like it, what's wrong with you? Why? What does it need to do to actually make you enjoy it as a toy? What do you want from things? This is a game changer. This changes everything in my eyes, because they have already released a Ratchet, and they've already released a Ironhide. They've done a Bumblebee. Very soon they are doing a Sideswipe and a Sunstreaker. They're doing an Optimus Prime. They're doing a Megatron. Yes, yes. These guys, keep an eye out for them. Mech Planet or Hot Soldiers, whatever you want to call them. Go out and get it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Little bit of a year's worth of good plastic out there. I hope you've had a great year. I hope you have a great 2018. Go out and get in them car boot sales and find bargains and do videos and put them out there and have fun. Be nice to each other. That's what it's all about. Come to Transformers and Such. That's where I hang out, and so does Chris Six Shot Changer and All in a Blur, and various other Transformer YouTubers and things like that, including like Mike Case and things like that. Come along, have fun, talk crap about Transformers and other things. I think that's it, innit?